I had a feeling Golden State and OKC would be an epic playoff matchup, but boy did it take a turn for the better after game one, with the Oklahoma City Thunder going into the Oracle and coming away with the victory over Golden State. And to the surprise of most, it was the Warriors who struggled to score down the stretch, who struggled to create good offense, not OKC. And because of that fact, the Warriors are now against the ropes, trailing 1-0, needing to win game two just to even have a shot in this series. And now that leads me to the bigger question, and that is if Golden State can recover and still go on to win this series over the Thunder. And I'll answer that question next. Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again to talk NBA with you guys, specifically the Western Conference Finals. And I'm just going to say straight up, we're in for a thrilling, very thrilling series because Oklahoma City went into the Oracle and took game one after losing the season series to Golden State 3-0. But when they needed the win in the playoffs, when it counts the most, they went into the Oracle and upset Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. I was shocked as anyone else. Golden State led by 13 at the half. They were 37-0 when leading by double digits this season, including regular season, heading into the second half with a double-digit lead. Well, now they're 37-1 because Russell Westbrook, who had just 3 points in the first half, carried the load for OKC in the second half, scoring 24 of his 27 en route to a Thunder victory. And of course, I want to touch on this. This game did not go without controversy. There were two controversial no calls down the stretch that could have altered the game in some sense. I don't blame the loss of Golden State on the missed calls by the referees, but they are factually missed calls. The NBA has even came out and announced that it should have been a travel call on Russell Westbrook. And I believe down the stretch when OKC led by just a point, and he got trapped by the half-court line, and it looked as if he moved his pivot foot. It was no call. We often don't really see that call, so albeit a missed call and the NBA has officially announced that, I can't hold that against them. But what I found more egregious was an Andre Iguodala putback that should have been called a foul in the act of shooting was not called at all. They gave Golden State the ball out of bounds. I thought that was more egregious because we see people slide their pivot foot all the time and it's no call. And yes, this is a bigger stage, the playoffs. We're almost at the NBA Finals and you don't want calls to affect the outcome of a game as such as that one could have done. But at the same time, or no calls I should say, but at the same time, if something is always not called, you kind of have to let it go. And that's just my personal thinking. But where I think the game was lost for the Warriors was in fourth quarter execution. Like I said earlier in the pod, they were 37-0 when leading by double digits at the half. They led by 3 points after 4 quarters. So even in the third quarter, they kind of let it slide a little bit. But the fourth quarter, Golden State scored just 14 points. 14 points. Clay and Steph combined for 1 field goal in the quarter. Steph Curry, MVP, unanimous MVP, had just 3 points, 1 of 6 shooting in the fourth quarter. If that was LeBron, we already know what he would be labeled, a choker. So we got to hold Curry to the fire. He didn't show up in the fourth quarter. He disappeared. He didn't get the job done. Golden State had the lead, and they coughed it up. Plain and simple. And now their backs are on the ropes. And also, Andrew Bogut looked to have re-aggravated an injury. He only played 17 minutes in that game. I think that was a big factor. Steven Adams went off for a double-double, his 6th of the playoffs when he had just 6 in the regular season. Him and Canner caused problems for Golden State. They couldn't play small how they usually do and take out a team. And maybe that's a byproduct of their poor fourth quarter execution. Or it could just be the fact that when they go small, that doesn't work against the Thunder. It could be, and we'll have to see more of this series to figure that out in full. But as of now, the small ball against Golden State when they are playing Cantor and Adams doesn't really look to affect OKC too much. I mean, they out-rebounded Golden State 62-55, and Steven Adams and Enes Kanter combined for 24 points and 18 rebounds. And Serge Ibaka also gave OKC a double-double with 11 points and 11 boards. OKC can match Golden State's athleticism, which the Spurs cannot for either team, which is why they are not here. But I think Andrew Bogut's availability will play a big role in how this series goes, because I don't think Golden State can win playing the small ball against this OKC Thunder team. The likes of Cantor, Adams, and Ibaka may just be athletic enough to stay with Golden State's small ball lineup. And now, to the bigger picture. Who will go on to win this series? Can Golden State overcome the 1-0 deficit in the series and still make it to the NBA Finals? Now, there are two ways you can look at this. You can look at it from an OKC perspective and a Golden State perspective. And I'll start from Golden State's side, from their point of view. During the season, the Warriors' offensive rating in the clutch was an NBA high 122.7. Last night against OKC, they had a 66.7 offensive rating, which is the second worst of the season, only second to their loss to Minnesota. So the Warriors rarely play that bad down the stretch. They scored just 14 points in the fourth quarter. I think that's their lowest output in a quarter all season against any team. So you can expect Golden State to be better down the stretch. And they forced a lot of three-pointers in the fourth quarter as well. And I expect them to get back to their ball movement to create open shots, not forced three-pointers as they did in the fourth quarter down the stretch against OKC. We saw what Golden State has been able to do all season, how they have overcome deficits in the span of a couple minutes. So this team can score with the best of them, best offensive team. They're a top 5 defensive team in the NBA, and they have the unanimous MVP Stephen Curry. Not to mention, they have a load of athletes and a lot of interchangeable pieces on their roster. From top to bottom, they have the better roster over OKC. Golden State lost game 1. The Thunder did not win game 1. Golden State played poorly in the fourth quarter, had bad shot selection. So Golden State's loss in game 1, you can say it was self-inflicted. And to the Thunder's point of view, they should be feeling very, very confident right now. All they needed to do in the series was steal one game at the Oracle, and they got it in the first game. And that's in a game where Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook combined to shoot 17 of 51 from the field. KD and Westbrook shot 17 of 51 from the field. KD shot 10 of 30, 30%. Westbrook shot 7 of 21, 30% from the field. And the Thunder still were able to squeak out a win at the Oracle. And also, they showed some poise in the fourth quarter, albeit they needed the help of a referee no call, but they showed poise. Kevin Durant had a span where he missed 7 straight field goals, but when it came for that 8th shot, he knocked it down to put the game out of reach for Golden State. And when you have 2 of the best 3 players on the floor in a game/series, you're always going to have a shot. And regardless of the matchup, OKC will always have 2 of the 3 best players on the floor, whether it's the Cavs, whether it's the Warriors, whether it's the Spurs. OKC will always have 2 of the 3 best players on the floor in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who both can be electric. So they have a shot, and the fact that they have a 1-0 series lead means all they have to do is take care of home court. Do I expect them to? No. I still expect Golden State to turn things around and win this series in probably 7 games now. Would I be shocked if OKC somehow won this series? Absolutely not, especially with them leading 1-0. And game 2 will define this series. If OKC somehow steals that game, Golden State can kiss their 2nd straight finals appearance goodbye. But if they do win game 2, now we have a series. And I think they will win game 2 soundly and force this into a dogfight of a series. Golden State has been the most complete and the best team in the NBA all season. and I expect the analytics to play out. I don't think Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant will shoot that poorly, but I also don't think Golden State will crumble in the fourth quarter how they did. This game should have been won by Golden State, and for that reason, I still think they turn it around and win this series in 7 games.